Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Natalie Clark, and I work for Distributor Central. I do a lot of our marketing and website design, and I also help out with our support team. I'm going to wait a few more minutes before we get started. We do have a few more that it looks like are still joining. But while we wait, I'll just kind of give you a little rundown of the product collections manager and some of the things that are changing. Previously, if you wanted to create custom product sets for your website, you would have done that in Products, Manage My Catalogs. So basically, the new Collections Manager is replacing catalogs. It's a very more dynamic tool. There are many different filters that you can add that is going to automatically update, rather than where with the catalogs you had to add either specific products or specific suppliers to include, and then that was it. It didn't ever auto update based on any parameters. So that's one of the big improvements now with the collections, is to be able to have a lot more control over the different filters that you apply, as well as those filters being dynamic and updating as the products change inside Distributor Central. Another thing, so now if you go to Products, Manage My Catalogs, you're going to get our help document telling you about how we change things. And I also want to point out that all of our help documents are live for the Collections Manager, and you can find them at help.distributorcentral.com. And then if you go to the website section, there's a whole category under product collections, and this has all of our help documentation for the new product collection manager. Another thing I wanted to point out is if you go to distributorcentral.com and under resources, we've added a past webinar link that'll take you to our go-to stage that has all of the most recent webinar recordings that we've done. And then also we have our upcoming webinar, where you can see we're trying to really change things up with our webinars. Tomorrow we have a co-hosted webinar with Outdoor Cap on selling headwear. We actually have a special template we've created that's going to go along with that webinar. So if you haven't registered for that for tomorrow, that'll be a pretty good one. But we're continually adding. We're trying to weekly add new webinars to try to help y'all with these niche sites and just other ways to help you guys sell promotional products. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get back into my account here, and we'll get started. Also, this is recorded, so you will receive the recording a couple hours after the webinar. If throughout the webinar, if you have any questions, do use the question or chat functionality, and at the end we'll try to take some time and go through the questions and answer them as they come in. There's also a handout section. If you click on that, I've uploaded a PDF with my contact information, as well as our support contact information. So you can download that, so you can easily have that available. All right, so let's get started here. So you used to go to Products, Manage My Catalogs in order to create custom catalogs. That is no longer there. So now, to manage any type of product collections or catalogs that have to do with your website, it's going to be under Websites, Hosting Manager. And then whatever website it is that you're working on, that you're wanting to create these collections for, you hit Manage next to that. And you'll see now within the hosting manager, there's this new product collections box. You're going to click manage. Any catalogs that you guys have built before the collections manager came out has already been converted into a collection, and you should see them listed in this list right here. If you had a preferred supplier catalog, all of that information, you did not lose any of that. It's still active. It's just turned into a collection and will be listed in this section of the website that it was put on. So now, right now I have the all products collection added to this website that I'm working on. But I'm going to show you how you can customize this even further, as well as giving some other product collection ideas to add to your website. So I have the all products here, but I'm wanting to, I don't want all of the Distributor Central products on my website. So I'm going to click this add filter. From here, there's all of these different filters that you can use in narrowing down the product sets. You can choose to hide products that does not have pricing. So if the supplier hasn't put pricing in their product data, if you don't want it to show up on your website and say call for pricing, you can hit that, and that will exclude all of those items. So I want to exclude all matching products that have hide. So I'm going to hit save. So that tells me that now that dropped that down to 10,370. Let's see. Actually, I think I'm supposed to include this. Sorry, we just rolled this out. Yeah, so I want to include the hide products with no pricing in this case. Hit save. Okay, now I'm going to add another filter. And if I have preferred suppliers that I'm using and I don't already have a preferred supplier catalog set up, then I'm going to hit this supplier. I'm going to choose to include, and I'm going to go through here and I'm going to start typing in my preferred suppliers' names. And you just click them and add them over here. So you'll do that for all of the suppliers that you would want only their products to show. Say you had a bad experience with a supplier, or there's a supplier that you just don't care to work with, then you can also choose to exclude suppliers. And then you can add those, and it will take those suppliers' products out of your collection. It's always going to update and tell you how many products are in your collection once you have added the different filters. Let's kind of go through some of these other options. You can do a filter by keyword. You can use our category list to do filters by categories, minimum quantity, price, product list. This is if you've used our product list tool and you've saved a product list for somebody in the past. You can now create a collection from that list. It's going to show up all of the lists that you've ever saved. You can add that, and that would add a product collection from that list. I'll go back here. You can do it by production time. You can choose from subcategories, the supplier. You can narrow down by brand names, the country and manufacturer. So if you wanted to create a product set that was USA made only, you could use that. And then you could check United States, and that would give you that collection. There's a new product filter, and that's going to pull back all the products that were added into Distributor Central in the last 60 days. And that's going to be dynamic, and it's always going to change out based on the new products from the last 60 days. There's new supplier. You can do it by our platinum suppliers. You can do it by location, but you have to know your latitude and longitude and then you put in the distance around you. So if you only wanted to have products show from suppliers around you, you could do that. If you have a customer with safety concerns, you can only use the QCA certified suppliers. There's also the union made. There's all of these different filters for apparel. A lot of these might not be that accurate right now because the suppliers are still working to add these attributes to their products right now, because they got access to it the same day that we actually rolled the whole thing out. If you wanted to utilize a product set based on the online order discounts that are available inside Distributor Central, you could create a product set that only showed those products. So what happens there is suppliers put a discount, and if you place that order through Distributor Central, you can get anywhere from a $5 to I think a $25 discount on your order of those products that are tagged with the online order discount. You can do a product set by if Rush is available, and then this new one, we're trying to push our virtual design tool. And so you could even create a section of your website that would allow, you can turn the virtual design tool on, and it would allow them to add their logo, and it's going to put their logo on those products so they can see it. We'll actually go through an example of that here in a little bit. Again, all of these measurements and different finishes and stuff, that is only going to work if the supplier has updated that information. Same with the color family and the imprint information. Another thing is the DC curated themes. So we created that template for the PPE and the COVID-19 products, and that is anytime we actually create our own themes and curate the products that we put in those, this is where you would find these. We have plans to do one for political in the near future, as well as like a school spirit. And we hope to continue adding these curated themes so that you can easily put together more niche and targeted websites. There's also an attribute to where you could create a product set that's eco-friendly. Another one we have that I see being a popular one is you can add a industry. So you can create a product set based on it being for the dentist industry, the education industry, and there's all these different industries to where you could create subgroups of products based off of industry. And then we've also got a theme, and there's different themes here that we've set up to where you can really curate those products based on a theme as well. Okay, so now I'm going to actually show some examples of how to use this, what it looks like when you add to your website, and just some ideas. So I'm going to delete that collection, and I'm going to start a new collection. Okay, so I'm going to hit this plus. I'm going to name this new products. And I'm going to add the filter. And I'm going to add this new product filter. I'm going to hit save. Now I can preview this over here. And it's going to pull in all of those new products. It shows my results here. So it shows me what products are going to populate based on that filter. It's not actually published to my website yet. That's just to preview it. If I want to actually go ahead and push this collection out to my website, Then I hit the publish button. And now it's going to send that to my website. I'm going to add another collection. And I'm going to name it under $1. I'm going to add a filter. And I'm going to create a filter to where I can do a product set of all products that are under $1. So I'm going to put 0 to $1. Oh. And so then now whenever we go back into the website, I have the ability to easily create a link to all products under $1. If I wanted to even go further with segmenting maybe my link bar on my website, I could actually add a filter by category and only show, maybe I only show backpacks, bags, and totes that are under that dollar amount, or pens or whatever, drinkware. You can really segment out your product categories by using the collections manager. In this case, I'm going to leave it at the under $1. Another idea of doing this is you could create a product set that's quick turn. I'm going to add a filter. I'm going to do production time, and I'm going to put 1 day. And then I'm going to add another filter. And I'm going to use the rush available. I'm going to add that one. Okay, I'm going to add another collection. And I'm going to say, so for example, maybe I do awards in-house, and I do not want award products to show up on my Distributor Central website. I'm going to create a collection, and I'm going to exclude the awards from my website. So I'm going to name this promotional products, because in a minute I'll show you, and this name does show up, so I don't want it to say exclude awards. But this is basically going to be my all product catalog, but it's going to exclude any awards. So I'm going to hit add filter, and I'm going to choose master category, and I'm going to choose exclude awards and recognition. Another thing that we've had requests for is that some don't want to have the apparel on their website, just because most of the apparel is undecorated, or maybe you do screen printing and apparel. You could even do the same, where you add a filter and you exclude the apparel category. Then I'm going to add another collection, and I'm going to add the COVID-19 PPE collection that we've created. I'm going to name it Healthy Habits. Add filter. I'm going to choose DC curated themes, and I'm going to choose that COVID-19. Eventually we'll have more in here, but right now that's what we started with the new, since that's what everybody's wanting to sell right now. Okay, so now I've added all of these collections. So now I'm going to preview all of them. Whenever you preview, it takes you to the catalog page, and it actually shows you your different collections. So then you can easily check and see what products that it's pulling. So I'm okay with what I did. So now I'm going to go back in here, and I'm going to publish it so it actually pushes those things out. Now we're going to go back into the hosting manager. And I'm gonna click manage next to that site that I just created those collections, and then I'm gonna click edit. And now, so my current website already has this link bar. I'm going to change these links and add the new collections, and I'm going to use those new collections to create new links here. So I'm going to add a new drop-down group, and I'm going to name it Healthcare Essentials. And so it's going to add it down here at the bottom. Now I want to add some links that link to that DC curated COVID-19 collection. I'm going to hit add new link. I'm going to name this masks. I'm going to hit generate search link. Under the collection, I'm going to choose healthy habits because that's what I had named that collection. And now I'm going to use mask as my search query. And I'm going to test it to make sure that it's bringing back the products that I want in that link. Okay, that looks good. I'm going to close that out. I'm going to hit generate link. Save new link. Now I'm going to go find that masks. It's going to add it down here at the bottom, and I'm going to drag and drop it up here in this healthcare essentials. Okay, so then on my next link that I'm going to make, add new link. I'm going to do sanitizer. I'm going to choose that healthy habits collection, and I'm going to do sanitizer. You could also use the master category and the category to further dive into this, but I'm just going to use sanitizer. I'm going to test that. Okay, that looks good. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to generate link. Now I'm going to go find that. And now I'm going to move that up into my healthcare essentials. Okay, the next thing is I'm going to add a link for my under $1 collection. So I'm going to hit add link. And then I just go in here and I choose that under $1 as my collection. If I wanted to do under $1 by category, I can even do that here. I can have that collection be very generic, but then I can dive deeper with when I'm creating my links if I wanted to within the website editor. I'm just going to leave this one as under $1. Generate link. And then now I'm going to go and add that to my link bar. And I'm going to hit done. So now I've added a healthcare essentials and an under $1. So I'm going to live preview that. Oh, it helps if you hit save. Okay, now I'll live preview. And my links are there. So now I've easily added those different collections as more or less as a category on my website. Another thing is I have this product ribbon here. Right now it's work from home essentials, but I want to switch that out and use one of the new product collections that I created. So I'm going to double click on that. And I'm going to change this to collection. And then I'm going to choose that new products collection, because then I know that those products are always going to be switching out of what people get to see based on the new products that are added into Distributor Central. It automatically changed my banner header to the new products. So now when I live preview, it's going to pull in all the new products here. If you wanted to switch out your banner to other artwork, you can also use those collections to be able to create your links the same way that we created those links up there. Okay, close all this. Okay, so now we're going to go back into the hosting manager, and one of the things that I think is a game changer for using the collections manager is when creating customer presentation sites. I can really quickly focus in on the parameters that my customer give me for the products that they're looking for. So I'm gonna do a quick demo with some ideas on how to use the collections manager to create a presentation website. So I'm gonna hit add new website. So I'm gonna create the presentation site for my customer. I'm gonna scroll down to this customer presentation template, and I'm gonna hit use this template. I'm going to name my site. Normally, you'd probably name it with your customer's name that you're creating it for. And then you could upload your customer's logo if you wanted to, or you could use your own logo. So I've created my site. Now I'm going to go back in here to the hosting manager, and I'm going to create. So you see it's right here. I'm going to hit manage. Now I'm going to create the product collections based off of the items that my customer is needing. I'm going to go in here and manage. So currently that template had the top sellers catalog, so that was automatically created as a collection here. In this case, I don't want to offer that to my customer. They have had a very specific product set that they were wanting to see. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to delete that. Now I'm going to hit the add product collection. And in this case, my customer told me that they were looking for some apparel, but they only wanted specific brand name. So I'm going to name brand name apparel, add a filter. I'm going to choose the brand name filter, and I'm going to say they only wanted Nike and Adidas. Say there's a apparel brand that they don't like, you could even exclude brands as well, or any brand. It doesn't have to be apparel, but any brand that a supplier has a line of and actually specified the brand names, you could include or exclude based on that. So I'm going to hit save on that. The next item that my customer is looking for are some pins. Name that pins, add a filter. Their minimum quantity that they're going to order is 250, so I'm going to put that in. They had a price range, so I'm going to put the price in, And they said that they didn't want to go over $2 a pin. So I'm going to put that in there. And then, so that leaves them with 61,060 options to choose from. Oh wait, I gotta add the category. So I need to change the category to pens. And our main category is writing instruments for pens. So I'm gonna do that. And then I'm gonna add another filter, and I could do a keyword filter and put in pen, or I could do a subcategory. So I'm gonna do a subcategory. And I'm gonna choose pens. I'm gonna save that. So this still gives them 4,694 pins to choose from. I don't want to overwhelm my customer, and I actually have some preferred pin suppliers that I like to work with. So now I'm going to even add a supplier filter, and so they only see the pins from the pin suppliers that I prefer to work with. I'm going to use Gold Star and Hub as an example. I'm going to save that. So now there's only 441. So now my customer is not nearly as overwhelmed when they're trying to pick out a pin that they want based off of the parameters that they gave me. The next item that they wanted is they wanted a hat. And they specified that they are really wanting a trucker cap. So I'm going to do a keyword filter. I'm going to put in trucker. And there's 466 products. I'm going to add another filter, and I'm going to choose subcategory, hat. I'm going to do caps and hats, and I'm going to do hats. So that brought it down to 351. And then now I'm also going to do a supplier filter and put in my preferred hat supplier. Okay, so now I've got those items. I'm going to preview this. And so now the only products that are showing up are based off of those that we just set up. And then another thing that I had mentioned we would cover is that virtual design, the virtual design tool. If I wanted to create a site that only had products that they could add their logo to and see what it looked like, I could use the new virtual design tool. I'm going to go add new website. And I'm going to choose this company store template. Okay, so once I have the website created, I'm going to go back into the hosting manager, and I need to turn on that new designer tool. So you go, so here's my site. I'm going to go into manage, and I'm going to go to preferences. And then under customization, this enable PD, I'm going to hit yes. It's likely that this terminology will change now that we're kind of out of the beta stage and we're really pushing this. So I'm going to hit save. And then I'm going to close preferences. And then I'm back in my hosting manager. Now I am going to go here to this product designer that now shows up because I enabled that. I want this auto pop-up to be on, the auto fill to be on. And then if you were doing paper products, that's where this address, city, company, email, all of that stuff would come into play. We're actually going to cover and go into detail in a different webinar on that. We have plans on doing a paper product like niche site. But for now, just to add the logo, the only thing that would have to be turned on here is those top two that I showed you, and then the logo. Everything else you want to make sure it's off. Okay, I'm going to save that. Now I'm going to go back into the hosting manager. I'm going to hit manage next to that site. Now I'm going to go down on my product collections and I'm going to hit manage. Currently that had the top sellers. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to hit add product collection. Now I'm going to add a filter. And I'm going to add this virtual designer filter. This is only going to pull products that are optimized to work with the virtual design tool. So we currently have 1,364 products. I'm going to go and I'm going to preview. So now once my customer goes to this site, there's this little settings icon. They can click that and they can upload their logo. And they hit save changes. And now everything's going to refresh and it's going to pull their logo on all of these products. There's also where they can see it better, as well as with the different color options. If they were actually going to the product page and they were going to order, they could actually see their specific color if they go into here. They could even change their logo out. Say whatever one they uploaded doesn't quite work for the color they're wanting. They can also switch that out in here in the ordering process. So I'm going to check and see what questions we have. That's kind of the gist of the quick overview of how the collections manager works and how you can make it work for your sites. Okay, so someone's asking if anything changed with adding products to a list and emailing those products to a customer. That functionality is all still the same. You can still do that. The only difference with that is that you can now use your product list that you've saved and create them into a collection to add to a website that way. Yes, this webinar is recorded and you should get the recording automatically sent to you. There's another one that says, how many links can you add to a link bar before you need to add a second link bar? It really just depends on the length of how you name it and how you want it to look. You can put as few or as many links on a link bar as you want. If you don't want them to wrap like mine were in that demo, then I would definitely, that's whenever I would go ahead and create a second link bar. There's a question that says, how will they know to click on the settings icon for the virtual design tool? That's something that either maybe you would just have to communicate that with them whenever you sent them their personalized website link, or maybe you could even add a button on the link bar, or maybe even at the top under their logo. You could create a button and add that says add your logo to the products now, and it could link to that. And if anybody's interested in these things and you need help setting those up, you can always email us and we would gladly do a quick setup for you. It says, can info be added to notify the customer that the PNG file they uploaded to view virtual is not production artwork? You could always add a custom written content block on the website and add that information, but we don't have anything automatically integrated that would tell them that. This says, will the virtual designer automatically update as new products are added? As long as any new product that is added that the supplier has actually set the parameters to be compatible with the virtual design tool, those would automatically add to your website where you have that product collection created and added. Okay, it looks like that's the only questions. Is there any other questions, or is there anything anything else you guys would like me to go over that you thought might have been in this webinar that we didn't go over? There's a question on using the product collection to combine fulfillment and DC products into one catalog. I do believe you can do that, but I'll have to get back with you. I haven't actually done any testing with the fulfillment side in the custom products, but I am under the impression that that's supposed to allow you to be able to combine the fulfillment products with the regular DC products. Okay, I'm not seeing any more questions. Thank y'all for joining me today. Like I said, there's that handout with my contact information as well as the support contact information. Feel free if you have any questions afterwards, or if you're trying to work on this and you get stuck on something, we're here to help. Then also, once again, there's the help.distributorcentral.com. You can go to websites and then product collections, and it has all of our help documentation. And then eventually this recording will also be on our past webinar page, but you should automatically get the recording anyway. All right, well, thank y'all and have a great day.